Hello, everybody. Hopefully, you can hear me. It's been a while since I've done a live stream, so I really hope you're able to hear me. Chantel, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Um, Quite the journey over the last couple of weeks, to say the least. So I'll let some people join and we'll talk about it. If this is going to be an open panel, so if anybody does want to join, I did just put the link below. Just put that into your browser and join. Make sure your camera's on so I can verify you. But yeah, I am here. Um, Again, can't believe how long it's been since I've done a live stream, and also can't believe why I'm doing a live stream. But feeling great right now, and that's something that I'm very happy about. So, all right. So, hello, chat. Chat, if you have any questions, again, this is an open chat. If you want to actually join the live stream and come up on panel with me, you're more than welcome to. I did put the link in the chat here, so feel free to come up and join as well. But besides that, yeah, I'm feeling great, Chantel. For somebody who is 2.5, almost 3 weeks removed from brain surgery, I'm doing incredible, feeling incredible, and gonna keep pushing through. So excited about that. So, like I said, just gonna give a few more people to join, and then we will. I'll kick off everything, talk about the story, how this all came about, what's happened since, and where it's going. It has been quite the ride, to say the least. Yep, I am definitely always gonna be a fighter. I think my attitude has a lot to do with it as well. Very positive, very upbeat. Um, I don't think there was anybody in the hospital that didn't enjoy working with me, and I enjoyed working with them. I probably made more nurses laugh and smile and be happy that I was their patient, and same with the doctors. I try to keep a positive attitude through everything, and that's a good thing. So, again, I see more people are joining. So, again, hey, I appreciate everybody. Hey, Cree, thanks for joining and commenting here. And I appreciate that. Again, if anybody wants to join up on panel, I did drop the link. Again, it's open panel, open discussion. I'm going to be an open book here over the next 30 minutes about my experience and everything. No flirting with the nurses, but they sure loved having a patient who didn't complain about everything. I am the easiest patient, except for the one dingbat who had to stick me 4 times because she couldn't find a vein. Luckily, needles don't bother me, but it just got annoying after a while. So that wasn't fun, but she was still a good nurse. Just that was a struggle for her. To say the least. So, all right. Well, we've got 6 so far. I'm happy with that. Like I said, first time in forever since I've been live. So, yeah, I did. I'm like, guys, my veins. I can see my veins on my hand right here. Just stick it in there. It's easier. So I agree with you, Chantel. That one is definitely. Oh, it was frustrating. 4 sticks is enough. So, all right. So let's talk about this journey and how we got here. Just being fully transparent, and feel free to ask any questions. Again, I'm an open book. I know HIPAA, people worry about HIPAA and everything. I am personally volunteering my information. So HIPAA laws do not exist if I volunteer that. So you have nothing to worry about here. Um, So this all came as a complete surprise. I have had no symptoms. I've had nothing that would have even triggered me to think that I had any type of brain tumor, brain mass, whatever you want to call it. So I would say about a month ago, my best friend Rhonda and I, we went down to Hollywood, Florida, where there is a Hard Rock down there. It was her birthday. She wanted to stay there. They've got some really good restaurants. So we stayed at the Hard Rock, and I started having this sinus pain that was probably the most excruciating pain I had ever gone through. I had never experienced anything like that. So when I got back to Tampa a couple days later, I went to the ER, and I'm like, this pain it's awful. It hurts so much. I don't know what's going on. But so they started treating me for like acute sinusitis and different things like that. And so they gave me a steroid that would get rid of the pain. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, then let's fast forward a couple weeks. Some of you know, some of you don't know from the past, but ever since my dad passed away, I take care of my mom. So I had to take her to a eye doctor appointment. So driving to an eye doctor appointment, and all I remember is mom saying, "Patrick, you're about to run a red light." And so I slammed on the brakes. Well, it turned out I had a what they call a conscious or an absent seizure. So I didn't shake, didn't have any shakes or anything. I was just like zoned out, just looking straight ahead. Like, I'm here, my eyes are open, I'm breathing, but nothing's going on upstairs. So I was like, okay, that's not good. So went to the emergency room, and they did a CT scan. Immediately came back with the CT scan and said, we have some significant findings. They showed it to me, and here was my brain and this other blob pressing up against my brain, actually pushing my brain over to the side. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. Well, then at the hospital, I just fell over. Like, I was leaning to get out of my chair and fell over. And so they sent an ambulance and immediately transported me to a level, what was it? A level 4 neuro ICU. Hey, Jendi. Yep. So they immediately transferred me to this hospital, and for anybody who may be, used to the different hospital systems, the one that was used was Advent Health here in Tampa, and we have quite a few, but this one specifically is out by our university, the University of South Florida. So I was immediately transported there by ambulance, where they did a MRI. And confirm the findings. I mean, it was very clear, very obvious. Again, I had my brain, and I had this other mass in there that was pushing my brain to the side. So I was admitted immediately. The next morning, I met the person who I will always be indebted to for, at this point, saving my life. His name was Dr. Raul Oliveira. And Dr. Raul Oliveira is the best neurosurgeon in the country. He had just transferred to this hospital. He had no other reason to be there. He had just transferred there. And I'm grateful he did. So met with him, and he told me that, the only thing we can do is surgery, and that's your only option. So he was going to schedule surgery for the next day to remove the tumor. So went through everything. Obviously, with brain surgery, there is a lot of risk. There are so many bodily functions. Everything goes through the brain. So there are so many things that could go wrong. And so, I go into surgery not knowing what's going to happen. One, am I going to even come out of it? And two, if I do come out of it, how am I going to be? Am I going to be able to do anything? And, to be honest with you, I know that's very scary. And I'll be honest, I've been a Christian for a long time, gone to church forever, and I felt so at peace with everything that I wasn't scared. If something were to happen to me, if I were to die, I wasn't scared. That's just, it is what it is. I try to keep a good attitude and a positive attitude for everything. So, came out of the surgery, like an absolute rock star. Uh, 7-hour surgery that Saturday. So that was 2 days after I had that initial CT scan in the emergency room. I had a craniotomy. And I'll try to turn my head. It's not pretty, so trigger warning, but I have quite the scar in my head. It looks like a horseshoe. So I guess maybe we can say lucky that I have a horseshoe on my head. Who knows? So grateful for the job that the surgeon and his team did. Again, Dr. Raul Oliveira. He got after the surgery, after the 7-hour surgery, I got to relax in the recovery room, got to get some rest, and then that night they scheduled me for an MRI to get a post-surgical MRI. So did the post-surgical MRI, and the next morning, which is now 1 day after surgery, Dr. Oliveira came in to discuss it, and he said that he was very happy with what he saw on the post-surgery MRI, that he feels very confident that he was able to get the entire tumor removed, which would have just been simply remarkable. He didn't know for sure. He goes, but this is just my initial reaction to the imaging. So just great. Well, I completely shocked the entire floor that I was on, the 4th floor of the hospital that I was on. Because I sat up. I'm like, guys, I'm not going to lay in this bed. This isn't comfortable for me. I need to get up and walk. I need to get up and do something. And like, you're not walking anywhere. Sorry, it's just not going to happen. You're not walking anywhere. So I said, give me that walker over there. I'll show you I'll walk. And I got up and walked. And I walked around the unit along with the physical therapist and the occupational therapist. And the doctors lined up with their jaws just dropped. Just couldn't believe what they were seeing 1 day, literally 1 day after surgery. And it was amazing. It was an amazing feeling to show what I was capable of. And because I had such amazing doctors taking care of me, that I was able to take steps. Now, was it fun? No, I was bouncing everywhere. I felt like the world was spinning, very vertigo, because I just had surgery on my brain. My brain had been pressed up against the side of my head for I don't know how long. That's still one of the questions I have outstanding. How long has this thing been inside me? But was able to do those steps and just blew everybody's mind. And so then spent the rest of the day sitting up in bed. I didn't necessarily want to lay down and sleep the entire day, so I watched a little bit of TV. They would come in every hour and do a neuro assessment on me. They'd ask me my name, my date of birth. They'd ask me to squeeze fingers. They would test my peripheral vision. They would put numbers, like the doctor would hold up numbers to the side, and I had to look straight, and I just totally aced all of their tests. And yep, Chantel, they do. If you can do it, they're all for it. They just don't want you to fall. So that's why I use the walker. And then the nurses or the therapists were behind me as well, to make sure that I didn't fall, that I didn't, nothing happened to me. So from there, it just got better. So each day just got a little better. I'd get a little less dizzy. I'd get more strength in my legs to where I was having to use the walker less and less. I think I think the big turning point was when they saw that I didn't need the walker anymore. They called it my black belt. They gave me a strap. They put this big it was a big black belt they called a strap around my waist. And kind of like, it felt so funny. I'm like, y'all taking me for a walk? I'm not an animal. But that's what it felt like. But it was just to make sure they could hold me up if something were to happen. But they quickly saw that, no, I'm able to walk on my own. I'm able to balance. I can walk and read at the same time. They would ask me, okay, what room number are we coming up to? Hey, take me to this room over here. And hey, for all 10 of you who are in here, again, thank you guys for joining and listening to my story. It is quite remarkable. So I would say the third day after surgery was probably the most difficult day for me balance wise. I got vertigo pretty bad. And if anybody's ever had vertigo before, it's not really fun. Kind of feel like the room's spinning. Things are bouncing around. And I told the doctor that because he did come and see me every day. I said, this is the only difference I'm seeing today. And what he mentioned was that, well, you got to think about it. We just removed a massive tumor out of your head that was pushing your brain to the side. Well, now your brain is adjusting to being back alone in your head. So it's able to grow. It's able to be its normal brain again. So it needs to learn itself. And then 2 more days I had to spend in the hospital. I'll be honest, those were the toughest 2 days because I was ready to go. I had met every doctor I needed to meet. I had every follow-up scheduled that I needed to follow up. And I missed my dog dearly. I miss my dog so much. Buster is everything. For those of you who don't know, I have no kids. My kid is my dog, and Buster is everything to me. So I missed him so much. But yeah, it was finally, I told him, I said, guys, and I don't recommend this. This is not medical advice. I'm not a medical professional by any means, but I do know my rights as a patient. So I told them, I said, I woke up that final morning. Again, everybody has cleared me. I'd already been cleared to move down to a lower level room. I didn't even need to be in a ICU anymore. They told me I was ready for a regular room, but they didn't have any regular rooms available for 3 days. So I'm like, well, that's dumb. Okay, well, fine. And then my surgeon, he cleared me, said, yeah, you're good to go home. We just want you to meet with this oncologist so you can set up a visit. Okay, fine. He came in the next day. Oh, yeah, you're cleared. And the other people, other doctors I saw, yeah, you're cleared. I have a team of 3 doctors. You're cleared. You're good to go. But it just took forever for them to get the paperwork in and all that stuff. So I said, all right. So I pulled the Patrick, which, you know, isn't again medical advice. I don't recommend this to anybody, but I knew my rights, and I knew based on everything that had been told to me that I was clear to go home. So I told my nurse that morning when she came in, I said, please write up against AMA, against medical advice paperwork, because I'm leaving in the next couple hours. Just letting you know. And so I forced their hand, and within about 20 minutes of, hey, Sweets, welcome, Sweets. I've gotten all your messages and things. I can't thank you enough for the kind words you've been sharing with me and everything. So I appreciate that so much. And same for everybody else. Anybody who's made a comment, who sent me a message, a Cash App, a Venmo, anything. Your money isn't going in my pocket. I can promise you that. It's going straight towards bills. These doctor bills are not cheap, especially now with the ongoing stuff. So greatly appreciated. I even closed down the GoFundMe. That took care of the initial round of medical costs, which was like $26.70, I think it was. And so was able to, thanks to people's graciousness, was able to pay those co-pays and deductibles and things. That was such a big help, because I am not able to work. I haven't been able to work for a month now, and they're not clearing me for another month to go back to work. So my income is absolute zero right now. So anyway, so back to the story. So again, I don't recommend AMA for anybody ever for any reason. But I was ready to go home and see my dog. And if you wanted me to sit and be miserable. I can sit and be miserable at home just as good as I can in a hospital. I wasn't being monitored anymore. Again, and everybody had cleared me to go. So had one final MRI after, had one final MRI. And that one also came back very good. All the doctors said they were very confident everything was removed, that this tumor was completely removed. So they also did one more scan, which was a CT scan of the chest, abdomen, and pelvis to make sure that there was no spread, because the type of tumor that I have, which I'll get in here in a minute, likes to spread. It's not a nice kind of tumor. Yeah, Chantel. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I would do if I had metal in me, because they asked me a million questions about implants, gold teeth, fillings, anything metal that I could possibly have in my body. I'm like, no, I'm not, none on me. So luckily I was able to get it. But yeah, I don't know how they would do that. That would be interesting. So, so everything came back clear on that CT and the last MRI. So they signed the paperwork. I was released and got to come home and gave my dog the biggest hug and kisses, and just had the absolute most amazing time. So by then, thanks, Flower Power. I am going to do that. I have a few organizations that I've been given by people, and I've reached out to them. I haven't been approved for anything yet, but I'm sure as heck trying. So thank you, Flower Power. I'm adding this one to my list, and I'll go and fill out their stuff tonight. So I'm home now. I've been home now about a week. I have had no issues with walking, talking, hearing, and seeing. Everything is back to where it was pre finding out I had this tumor in my head. So again, extremely grateful for the graciousness I've been showing. I don't know why God has chosen to keep me around longer, and why he's chosen this route for me. Something I'll probably never know the answer to, but I plan on doing a lot of good with it still. I've always done good. I've always done right by people, but my outset on life is a whole lot different. I am down 54 pounds since the beginning of July. Now, this also helped with the weight loss, unfortunately, but I had also started a health journey as well. I've never been closer to 200 pounds than 300 pounds. So I'm now 243 and dropping. I will be under 200 pounds. That is the next thing. The way I'm eating every day is wonderful. I only drink Coke. I'm sorry. I don't drink Coke. The only thing I drink is ice water and unsweet iced tea. And Chantel, great question. My memory, the only thing I don't remember is when I had that conscious seizure while driving with my mom in the car. And I'm glad she was in there to tell me I was about to run a red light, because that could have been very bad for a lot of people. But other than that, I remember everything from way back in the day to current events. I have had no memory loss whatsoever. And so, again, I'm very gracious. I'm very fortunate. And again, just going to continue to do good by people and be the nice, kind, respectful person that I am. So let's see. My aunt had that, and she had some memory loss. Yeah, it is all possible. I mean, when the doctor first came in and said, hey, before we do the surgery, here are so many things that could happen. I could have been paralyzed. I could have had memory loss. I might not have been able to have brain function or full brain function. But again, just lucky and fortunate that I'm being watched over by a higher power, and I have no lingering symptoms. So this last week started my follow-up visits. I have 3 doctors that are a part of my decision team. So I have my surgeon, who I have not followed up with yet. My follow-up with him will be on Friday, and hopefully we'll get all my stitches removed. And they'll take a look at the wound and make sure it's healing appropriately, and no swelling, different things like that. But everybody who's seen it so far has said it's looked good. Last Thursday, I met with the radiation oncologist. So the radiation oncologist, what he will be doing is he is going to be doing a 30-round radiation treatment with me. I don't have the schedule for when it starts. It's probably going to be a week or two before it starts, but I'm excited to get that started. The way he described it to me is there is a healthy brain in my head right now. We want to keep a healthy brain in my head. So the radiation therapy is only going to be 3 to 5 minutes. It's not going to be a massive radiation therapy regimen that I have to do. And they're going to target the open area where the tumor was removed. And the reason they're doing that is we are in prevention mode right now. There's no tumor in my body. We don't want it to come back. So the type of tumor that I have is called a glioma, Glioma. That is what was removed. It is a cancerous tumor. And gliomas are pesky. They're pesky. They're pests, whatever you want to call it. And they like to grow back. So our goal between me and my 3 doctors making the decisions is to do everything we can so that it doesn't come back. So we're being aggressive. We're not going to sit back and wait. We're being aggressive, making sure we knock this thing out so it does not come back. So that'll be the first step. So tomorrow, I go back to him, the radiation oncologist, and they're going to do something called simulation. And what that is they're going to find where specifically they want to target the radiation laser each session that I go for. So he told me that it's going to be a 30-session regimen. I will be going for 6 weeks, once a day, 5 days a week. Don't know when the 6 weeks starts, but I will find out that tomorrow. My schedule will start tomorrow. I'm not actually going to have a treatment tomorrow. They're just going to mark where I'll be having the radiation when they start. And Flower Power, I'm just seeing your post, and I hate to hear that. Cancer is something that unfortunately, it's a nasty thing, and I will make sure that I pray for your brother-in-law. If he's willing to fight, which it sounds like he is, let's kick some butt together. We things can be beaten. I know lung cancer is tough, and I know when it spreads to the brain, it can get tough. But keep encouraging him. I can tell you, the biggest thing that's helped me is the encouragement from others, the kind words, the random text messages. Just trying to keep that positive attitude throughout this entire process. So we'll be praying for Flower Power. Hey, Maria, welcome. Welcome. Again, tomorrow's with the radiation oncologist. And then this afternoon, I met with the medical oncologist. And the medical oncologist is the one who does the radiation. I'm sorry, not the radiation, the chemotherapy. For me, I will not have to have the old-fashioned chemotherapy that they do through the IV and through the bags. I'm going to be prescribed an oral pill for my chemotherapy. And again, just to be aggressive so that we make sure this thing doesn't try to grow back. So I will be on oral chemotherapy for a specific amount of time, and it's going to go in waves. So I may be on it for 10 days, get a break, then be on it for another 5 days. So it's not going to be an everyday thing. Eventually I will get some breaks from it. The side effects are not as bad as they are with the bad chemotherapy, but there are still side effects. The ones he mentioned are fatigue. He said fatigue is a big one. I may get a rash. He pointed to his arm. I may get a rash on my arm. And then he also mentioned the gastrointestinal, potential nausea and different things like that. So, I appreciate that he's been upfront, and all my doctors have been upfront with me on what to expect. But one of the biggest things he said today, and it just put a big smile on my face, is that you had brain cancer. I currently have no active disease in my body. So that was Flower Power. You don't have to do that, but I do appreciate anything because it does all go towards the treatment costs. So it should be up there on the screen. But yes, the best thing they said today was that I do not have any active disease in my body. So we're going to start the treatments here coming up in a week or so. We're going to knock the crap out of this, and I'm going to push through whatever side effects I have, and yeah, Chantel, I look forward to that day. I really look forward to that day when I hear the words cured. But I know that's a long ways away. So on top of the 2 treatments that I'm going to have, I will also be getting regular MRIs and CT scans, again, just to make sure that nothing is growing back. Hey, Laura Marie, welcome. Laura Marie, thank you for your messages and everything as well. You've really helped, guide me through some questions that I had, and forever grateful for you, and appreciate that so much. So I'd say we're about a week or so out from having all the treatments start, and then a couple weeks out from having my first, I guess it'll be my 3rd MRI since surgery. So everything's going well so far, and slowly returning to daily life. Because I had that seizure while driving about a month ago, the state of Florida automatically suspends my driver's license. So that's probably the hardest thing for me right now, is not just being able to pick up and drive to where I want to go or go somewhere. Having to use Uber or a friend or family to take me places. I hate bothering people. I feel like I'm bothering them, and they'll tell you I'm not. And I'm so grateful and appreciative to them for being willing to do that. And some have even brought food. I've had 2 massive lasagnas dropped off, and as an Italian, holy crap, they were amazing lasagnas. So as long as Sweets doesn't try to bring me any yucca, we'll be good. But yeah. So Lauren Marie, yes. Oh, and sorry, Maria, yes, it is a temporary suspension of my driver's license. And once I am on, so I'm on Keppra. That's the brand name of the drug. I don't remember what the generic is called, but Keppra is the drug that I'm on, and I've been on it since I had the seizure or since I went to the ER. So it's an anti-seizure medicine, and once I go 90 days without any seizure, which I shouldn't have another one because the reason why I had it is gone, plus I'm on the anti-seizure medicine. Once I go 90 days, I can petition the state of Florida to reinstate my license, and I'll do that through my surgeon and his team. They would fill out all the paperwork. So yep, Lauren Marie, Keppra is the one that they gave me to be on. So no driving for a while, but that's okay. If that's the least of what I can do, again, still going to have a good attitude about it. Not going to worry about it, but I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to push through. I'm ready to get it going. So, I'd say that's probably the most anxious thing. I'm anxious to work. I want to work. I want to earn some money. I was a workaholic way before any medical stuff ever happened. So not being able to work is absolutely killing me. And y'all probably think, Patrick, you're crazy. Just enjoy the time away from work. And I have, but I miss my team. I love my team. I actually love my job. My boss has worked with her at a previous company. I'd call her a friend as well. And I miss working for her and working with her because I know everything that's falling on her right now. But it's good for my mind because I can't do a whole lot right now as far as thinking, critical thinking and all that all day long. I will tire. And I can tell you after this live stream, I've only been live, what, about 35, 40 minutes. I'm probably going to go right to sleep because I do tire still. But yeah, so that's my story. That's where that's where I'm headed, for my journey. The next step is to start those 30 targeted short radiation sessions and then start the oral chemo. And like I said, we're just a couple weeks out, and then regular blood work, regular MRIs, and that's going to be my life for the foreseeable future. But any questions? Anybody have any questions? I'd love to see anything in chat. If you have anything you want to ask me about, I know somebody asked about cruising, when I can cruise again. Well, it's funny. I actually had a cruise scheduled the 20th through the 27th of September, but needless to say, I wasn't able to get that or to make that happen. But that's okay. I'd much rather be healthy and not worry about maybe getting vertigo while I'm out in the middle of the ocean. So I'm okay. My next one is scheduled for October. Bringing a friend that'll be their first cruise. So going to do it big, going to do it fun. And so the next one will be sometime in October. Don't know dates yet. That's what I'm looking for. So enjoying the relaxation, flower power. Again, I've cried so many times over the last couple of weeks from people's generosity. I know I would do the same thing for anybody, and it just means a lot. So flower power, again, praying for your family and what they're having to go through right now. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate all that. And I will take whatever the amount was. I'm not going to look until later and apply that towards the 20, I forget what it was, whatever I have left right now on my copays and deductibles. So thank you so much. All right, Jindy. There were no symptoms before the seizure. The only thing that I would say was out of sorts was a month ago, I had this sinus pain. It went through the bridge of my nose and around my eyes. And it was the worst sinus pain I had ever had. They treated me for sinusitis. They gave me a steroid, and that got rid of the pain right away. And then unfortunately, I had that seizure. And that's when that started everything in motion. And that's how I ended up in the hospital saying, hey, you have a brain tumor. Yeah, Laura Murray, I'm hoping I don't get too bad. The doctor today didn't say anything about dizziness. But he did talk about the stomach, upset stomach, and different thing. And I'm sorry, I don't remember what the name of the chemo drug is. But I'll send it to you. I'll text it to you later. Oh, it's Temodar, Temodar, Temodar. That's the one I'm going to be on, but I don't know the milligrams yet, and I don't know the dosage. I believe it's going to be once a day based on what he said today, but we still have to finalize that plan. Oh, Flower Power. That's awesome. I am so happy about that. Flower Power, if you don't mind putting in the chat, do you know where you're going to, which port you're going to? Yeah, that is something that won't ever leave me, no matter how I'm doing, how I'm feeling. I'm still going to be a cruiseaholic. It's one of the best vacations for the buck, and just a great time and a great vacation, full of relaxation. So again, I appreciate you, Flower Power. I'm going to keep looking. So yeah, Maria, it was just came out of nowhere. No clue anything, because they even asked me, they're like, do you want an MRI? I said, you can schedule one. I said, but I don't think I have a brain tumor or anything. I'm not slurring my speech. I'm not having any issues walking, like seeing. No, I have no symptoms, no headaches, nothing. And then all of a sudden I have a seizure, and then I fall over, and well, here I am in the ER getting an MR or a CAT scan telling me you've got a mass in your head. So yeah, just crazy. But I know you, most of you aren't on my Facebook, but I posted a thing on Facebook that I've always been told to listen to your body. When something doesn't feel right or seem right, do something about it. And I can't stress that enough. I don't know how long this tumor has been inside my head. That's still the outstanding question that hasn't been answered. Um, and if I hadn't listened to my body, I have no idea how much longer that would have been in there. And it could have been a lot worse. So please, if I can just leave you with some piece of advice, listen to your bodies. Don't be afraid of doctors. There's a reason they're out there. I can tell you, I am so impressed with Advent Health here in Tampa. My team of doctors, I am 100% comfortable uh, with their decisions. We are all on the same page. They're very upfront. They're very open and honest about things. They don't sugarcoat things. It's just I'm so fortunate to have the team that I have and the support behind me that I have. Flower Power, leaving from Long Beach and going to Ensenada. Very nice. Leaving I've never left out of Long Beach. I've always done the East Coast, but I have a friend named Bobby who does the West Coast, and he leaves from Long Beach and says it's a totally different experience, and it's a good time. So I have no doubt you'll have a great time, and I can't wait to hear about it. And yeah, that's awesome. Um, let's see, Jindy. I don't know how big it was. I did get all of the paperwork today. I just haven't read through it yet. From the medical oncologist. So it had all of the pathology report. So I'm sure it's in there. But next time I go live, I'll have that, and I'll share how big it was. But it was a good size. It was pushing my brain to the side. It was, what did they call it? They said it was an angry, nasty tumor. It was not happy. There was something else in my head. So it was fighting it. So sorry, Lauren Murray. Yeah, I have absolutely loved Advent Health. Even their app, as a patient, their app has everything loaded. I don't have to do anything but show up for my appointments. It tells me when it is. I can pay my copay ahead of time on the app. So when I show up, I'm all checked in. I just sit down. They call me 2 minutes later. Oh, Patrick, your room's ready. So I love it. And I agree, Maria. It is. It's extremely important. You got to trust who you have. And I do. I trust and believe in everything that they are telling me, and they back it up with facts. That's probably the biggest thing, is they have no problem pulling out uh, the the medical records and showing me. Yeah. So Flower Power, I think that's great. And if you have any questions, Flower Power, just comment on my community tab. I'll I'll answer, especially when it comes to cruising. I still remember everything, and I can talk about cruising 24/7, 365. So I'm glad you found me again as well, and I look forward to talking to you about it. I'm excited also for your cruise coming up. All right. Chantel has an amazing team of cardiologists, even though it's a learning cardiology hospital. It's the best one in Canada. That's awesome. You know, some of those learning hospitals are amazing. The cancer center that I'm going to is called Florida Cancer Specialists. They're one of the best in the area, and it's also a research institute. So I'm allowing them to study my tumor. I'm like, I don't want it as a trophy. You guys can have it and do whatever the heck you want with it. So continue to study it. If you can learn something from my tumor that helps somebody in the future, I don't even need to know about it, but that is the greatest satisfaction I think a human being can have, knowing that you helped somebody else. So, so I signed off on everything for them to continue doing research on it. So hopefully they learn something. All right, so been live about 45 minutes now. I'm going to wrap up here in the next 4 minutes. But any questions, anything you all want to say, talk about, anything at all? It's getting my enzyme transfusions at the cancer clinic in that hospital, and the nurses were very nice and professional. The only issue, I thought my time that I stayed at Advent Health Tampa over by the University of South Florida, the 4th floor that I was on, I thought almost every nurse and every doctor was extremely professional, met my needs. I'm not very needy, but I had some of the nicest, sweetest nurses. And, if I needed something, they made sure they got it for me. And was just very accommodating. And so I'm always going to be grateful for Advent Health, both the standalone emergency room that I went to, who quickly did the CAT scan to find the tumor, and then immediately made the decision to transfer me over to the Advent Health Hospital by USF. So, just grateful for that. And then the doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners, everybody that I got to deal with, I have nothing negative to say about any of them. So very grateful for everything. I was needy at the hospital. I couldn't go downstairs for a real coffee. Oh, trust me. They told me they had a Starbucks in their cafeteria. I'm like, you're going to need to take me down there because I need a Starbucks. I went almost 2.5, 3 weeks, and I hadn't had a Starbucks, and I'm going crazy. So finally, the other day on the way home from one of my appointments, I said, Mom, I know you're driving me, but I'm going to do a mobile order at Starbucks. I just need you to swing through the drive-thru and tell them you got a mobile order for Patrick. And she did. So I got to have my oat milk. What did I do? My brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso, and oh my gosh, I have to go light on the caffeine, so I don't have Starbucks every day. I mean, heck, like I said, I've had it once in 3 weeks, but most of my stuff now is decaf or half calf and sugar free, so no syrups. I'll do Splenda or whatnot. So Flower Power has plenty of questions about many things, but this is not the time to never do things. Cancer's not a joke, and follow your doctor's orders. You got it. I 100% do and will. Chantel, I had a heart monitor on, couldn't leave the floor. With my history of passing out, they refused. Yeah, God, being hooked up to those heart monitors, sometimes, I don't know, I got a little claustrophobic between 2 IV lines crossing me and a heart monitor. I just had too many wires on, and it got annoying after a while. Luckily, I didn't pull anything out on purpose. I think one time I stretched and one of the lines came out, but it is what it is. They didn't get mad at me, so I'm glad about that. But all right, last 30 seconds, then I'm going to end this. Any parting questions? Well, it's been wonderful telling my story. I will keep everybody informed and posted. I am posting on my community tab to give updates. I'm learning this YouTube thing. I don't care to get monetized or any of that nonsense. That's not what I'm here for. But but I like doing this. I like interacting with people. This is something I probably miss the most sitting at home. I have a dog to talk to. So being able to interact with people is something I absolutely love. So y'all did my soul really well, really good tonight. I'll have a smile on my face, and yeah, so thank you all again for joining, listening to my story. Chantel, you may absolutely share my live. Again, I'm volunteering my medical information, so you all have permission to share with any friends, family, whatever you would like to. And if anybody has any questions, again, I post on my community tab, so have them ask there. I'll be more than happy to answer. And if it needs to be a little more private conversation, then I'll route them to my Instagram account, and we can talk through private messaging instead. So I'm going to drop off here, but again, I appreciate everybody being here, caring so much about me, the words, the gifts, the contributions. Just completely grateful, extremely grateful, happy to be alive, and look forward to talking to everybody again. So everybody have a wonderful night, and if you have to work tomorrow, have a great day. Night, everybody.